Hello, Mark.
Hi, Isabel.
How are you doing today?
Brilliant. We've just had a lovely warm bank holiday. It's now time to get back to focus on work. So feeling energized.
Good. Well, I'm pleased to hear it. Thank you for agreeing to talk to me today. I'm going to ask you some questions about your experience of the coaching session that we did together to give people a bit of a better understanding of what to expect and what some of the outcomes might be for them.
Sure. My pleasure.
Thank you. So just start by telling us who you are and what you do for work.
Of course. My name's Mark Turner.
Yeah.
I'm a chartered town planner. I run my own planning consultancy. So that's everything from dealing with clients who want a simple single-story extension to clients who want several hundred houses and everything in between.
Okay, lovely. And what was it that led you to think maybe a coaching session might be helpful for you?
I think it's like all these things. Anyone running a business, you end up with your head down, focused on running the business. And when you're a sole trader, which is effectively what I do, my business is a limited company, but it's me. So I'm the employee as well as the boss. And when you're in that position, you end up totally focused on running the business. And it's very rare to actually say, stop, turn the outlook off, turn it all off, step back.
Yeah.
And actually focus on the business. And that sounds weird. There are almost two businesses you focus on: day-to-day getting it done, but stepping back and actually improving the business. And it was something I think we met in a different venue, and it was something you said that made me think, yeah, do you know what? I need that. I need to do it.
Good. And what were some of the things that you were struggling with or that we worked on?
I think it was definitely that kind of worry that you've got your head down, you're at the grindstone, as it were. Where's the next customer coming from? Where's the next revenue coming from? How am I going to ensure that I've got money coming through? You end up with that doing the job whilst there's a little whispering voice in your ear going, will you still be here next month? Is there money coming through to pay the bills? That was a massive concern.
Yeah. And as you say, that's something that all of us really as business owners can experience, particularly at the start, but throughout, our whole careers, our whole business journeys, I think, with these things. Was there anything in particular that stood out to you in the session? Either a piece of work that we did or a technique that I used that you found particularly helpful?
I think what was really it was clever was the way you asked questions in such a way that I was giving you honest and open answers. This is what's worrying me. This is where I am. And then you replayed them to me at the end of the session in a way that they became my answers to my problems. It was almost, well, you've got the answers.
Okay.
I'm going to hear them and I'm going to give them back to you in such a way that you go, oh, yeah, I said that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I thought that was really clever. I didn't see it coming.
Good. Lovely. And I think one of the things at the end of the session for you that you'd said was how actually you felt like you had a bit of a roadmap going forward. Kind of expand on that part a little bit for me and how that's been since the session.
Yeah, sure. Like all of these things, it's very easy to come out of a session and think, right, I'm going to do all this now, today.
Yeah.
With a whole bunch of to-do lists. Let's be frank, if you come out of a session with 20 things to do today, the chances are you'll get 3 or 4 done.
Yeah.
And the other 17 will get on the to-do list and then they fade into the maybe to-do list and they drift off into the distance. Whereas what you did was actually gave me this is what you're going to do in a month.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you're going to do in 3 months. This is what we're going to look for in 6 months.
Yeah.
It gave me a much bigger, wider perspective, which as a business owner is really where, what I said, it's taking your head away from the grindstone and setting back. And it made me sit back and go, right, where am I going to be? And it actually allowed me, I've got some project management software that I use, and it gave me the immediate opportunity to say, right, to do that, that's when it needs to be done. That's when I really need to start working on it. Subconsciously, I'm working on it now, but that's when I really need to be focusing, and that's when I want it done. And actually to give myself some hard deadlines, but also manageable deadlines.
Yeah. Good. Okay, I'm pleased. And you were talking about that little voice almost
Hmm.
a few minutes ago, worrying about where the next clients are coming from, where's the money coming from, essentially. How's that changed since the session?
Um, the worry's still there.
Hmm.
I think it'd be daft to suggest that it ever goes away totally. If it
Yeah,
did, then you'd start not really caring about what you're doing.
yeah,
Um, that said, the worry's there, but there's also an acknowledgement it's going to happen.
yeah,
Regardless of the worry, when this business has been running for nearly 2 years. So for nearly 2 years, I've had that worry, and yet for nearly 2 years, the money's come.
yes,
The clients have come. So it's that don't stop worrying about it, but
yeah,
turn the worry into something positive and do something about it.
yeah,
That's the difference. So there are almost two voices in your ear. There's the one saying, "Where's the money coming from?" There's another one saying, "Look, don't go overboard about this. It will happen."
yeah,
There's no point in that worry crushing you, getting you to the point where it's almost paralysis by analysis. You just don't do
yeah.
anything for fear. So that's changed.
Good. And was there anything in particular about me or my style within the session that you found helpful?
No, I mean, I think it was a very, very open dialogue,
Yeah,
an honest conversation. And I like the fact that rather than jumping straight in with the right, we're going to do this, and we haven't spoken about, and I apologize, is it? I can't remember the
EFT tapping,
3FT.
emotional freedom technique. Yeah,
That's the words. We've not spoken about that yet. And I think if we'd have dived straight in to try this technique,
yeah,
the cynic in me would have switched off and gone, "Oh, this is daft."
yeah,
What we achieved, or what you achieved, was an open conversation. You got those answers to my concerns before we even got near to something that would have been initially, one was not keen on this idea,
yeah,
a little bit off of the beaten track, as it were.
yeah.
That style worked brilliantly for me, because otherwise you wouldn't have got anything. I wouldn't have got anything out of the session.
Okay,
Brilliant.
lovely. I'm pleased. So nearly there. A couple more things. Just I'm going to ask you. One is, I guess, one that people ask quite a lot, which is, if you could choose three words to sum up the session or my approach to the session, and how you found it, what would those three words be?
Wow, that's hard. Uh, Calm,
Lovely.
comprehensive, and productive.
Great.
I'd use those three. It was the calm approach, and it got the best out of me. At a time when I had a load of work on, there was stuff I had to do,
Yeah.
but I ended up in a very calm bubble while we were together working on what we did.
Yeah.
Comprehensive in that it did lift the lid on lots of parts of the business. How does this work? What are you thinking about here? It lifted that lid. And productive in that I walked away with something to do.
Yeah. Great. Very nice. Thank you. Is there anything that we haven't covered about the session that you think might be important for people to hear or to know about if they're thinking about working with me?
Yeah, I just touched on it, was the EFT, and I'm not sure whether you do that in every session.
Yeah,
Uh,
often. Not always, but often.
it was the best way I can describe it is tapping parts of the body
Yeah.
and reciting almost an affirmation
Yeah. Exactly.
while doing it. Now, it sounds, dare I say, Americanized.
Mhm.
It sounds very spiritual.
Yeah.
And there is a little bit to it that I think probably is,
Yeah.
and probably could be. But it was applied very much to a business problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that. Oh, I'm not here for this. I'm not here to, wave incense around or anything like that. I get that. And
Yeah.
I get that would be the initial thought process of, oh no, this isn't for me. Throw that away.
Yeah.
Ignore it and actually try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still not quite sure how it worked.
Yeah.
And there's parts of me that thinks, do I want to know? Not really,
Yeah.
but I know it worked. and I know that the affirmations were very, very powerful. And those, I'm using the word affirmation, those final sentences were my words.
Yes.
Played back to me. It wasn't given to me. They weren't your words. They were me.
Yeah.
Played back in a way that made me sit and go, I've had the answer all along.
Yeah.
Which is kind of where we were. So yeah, if that's part of the session that you do with any particular client, my advice would be as cynical as you like, but try.
Yeah. And I think actually that's one of the first things you said to me when we finished the session, without even knowing about that tapping technique, which I introduced, was even when we first spoke, you almost had this sort of cynical mindset about it. How much can we actually change in one coaching session?
Yep.
And actually, you kind of threw that away at the end of the session and said, I was really cynical and I put my hands up to that. But having now finished the session with you, I totally almost agree. You can kind of get quite a lot done within just one session if that's the way you want to go about it.
No, you're absolutely right. And I'm the first to admit I'm cynical. My natural cynicism plays out on occasion.
Yeah.
That said, I'm also open to trying things.
Yes.
And that's the key. It doesn't matter if you're cynical. Just be open to giving it a go.
Yeah.
And if you want to be cynical and see it fail, it'll fail. You can fail any technique out there that you try if you wanted to.
Yeah.
If you want to actually make a success of the session itself, if you want it to work, then by all means be cynical, but still want it to work.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, it's for your benefit. It doesn't help anyone sitting there thinking, I really want to make a mess of this. I really want it to fail. And what value is there in that?
Absolutely.
But go into it with I want this to work. Let's give it a run.
Yeah.
If it works as well for another person as it would for me, I'd be saying, just do it.
Yeah. Great.
Well.
I think just finally, I want to touch on the emotional freedom technique, the tapping, which you mentioned towards the end there. So I tend to use it. We used it for you, I think, for about 15-minute or so slot, where it was specifically we were focusing on this worry and the stress that you had about money and where the next client's coming from. And I think just to give other people out there a better idea of how I might use it in the sessions, often I would be more inclined to use it for things like stress and worry. So if people are feeling stressed or worried about things, it's a really great technique for those kinds of emotions. You can use it for a variety of other things, but I think in the work that I'm doing, that is most likely the kind of time and area where I will use those techniques with people. So thanks for mentioning it. It's one that I've used for a long time in coaching, but also therapeutic work that I've done to great effect. So yeah, I still love to use it when I can and when I think it's going to be effective, really. Great. Well, Mark, thank you very much.
My absolute pleasure. And well, look forward to the next session.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you and see you soon. Hello, Mark.